I usually start off recording when we're getting ready to taxi out from the dock at the seaplane base, and then the cameras all run out of battery and memory and everything else before we get halfway done with our flight. Today I didn't start the camera up until we were halfway done with the flight, and we'd been into this flight about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, and already surveyed quite a few streams on Prince of Wales Island and some others. We stopped to take a quick break here in Shipley Lake, which is on Kosciuszko Island, adjacent to Prince of Wales Island, and it opens up into Shipley Bay, which we'll see here in a couple of minutes. And I got the camera mounted right to the bow of the float, so we'll get a float's eye view of our flying around here doing salmon surveys today. Shipley Lake gets a small sockeye return. We really don't check for it very much because it's such a small return, and the fish are hard to find up there. The streams that they go into are covered over with trees, and they're real short systems, and anyway, you don't really see them very well. Pink salmon come in here and spawn, and they do spawn up in the lake in some of the systems there, but the major place they spawn is in this neck here, this outlet of the stream, where it goes down into the bay. We're looking for fish here in this stream, and then we'll look for fish here in the bay as we go around the bay, and we're still looking for fish coming in, enough fish to justify having openings for the fishermen, commercial openings. And we're not really looking for returns into the streams for the spawning returns. We're just looking to see if there's enough fish coming in to justify openings. So there's another stream here coming up. That's the main stream for Shipley Bay, and it gets most of the return into it. So we'll fly it, look for fish coming in there. Again, we're going to be looking in the salt water in the mouth of the stream and in the intertidal, and a little bit up in the streams. The fish really haven't gone up the streams yet. We'll look here on this stream, and then we'll fly through a pass here over to another stream that's on this island called Trout Creek, and that's one of the bigger systems in this area. We're going to intercept Trout Creek right about here and fly down it. And initially I was just flying down it, kind of looking in the stream once in a while for fish, not expecting to see anything up this far yet as we head down to the intertidal in the mouth. But we get down here a little ways and looking in the stream, and surprisingly there was fish coming all the way up the creek already. They were up here a lot farther than we expected, so we wound up doing a little more complete stream survey here. Now most of the fish are still down in the intertidal, and there's a lot of fish out in the saltwater here, and that did justify having the area open for fishermen, although I don't think any fishermen came up here and actually fished. The land in the distance over there just on the right side right now is Coronation Island, and that's the last piece of land before the open Pacific here. This is the south end of Sumner Straits, and the point of land there in the distance that you can see coming off of that long land is Cape Decision. You go around that to get into Chatham Straits from Sumner, and then we're heading over there to QU Island right now into Affleck Canal. And of course, they speed things up here a little bit because the Cub doesn't fly near this fast, but we'll get there in a lot quicker hurry this way than we would if we stayed at normal speed. Oh, this is coming into Affleck Canal in the lower end of QU Island, the south end of QU Island. Affleck Canal has several real good salmon spawning streams in it. The two major early ones are Kell Bay, which is behind us. We didn't go into Kell Bay today. And the next major one is up here is Bear Harbor. And that's what's straight ahead of us is Bear Harbor. And that's kind of the main salmon system in Affleck Canal. Actually, it's the early one, the one we check the most often to see if we can justify having an opening in Affleck Canal or not. And there were quite a few fish in here today, and bears and seagulls and eagles and otters and sea lions and seals. This little bay here just has a little stream in the head of it, but it doesn't really get any fish in it. It's just the fish come in here and kind of hold in here and kind of play around a little bit before they go up into Bear Harbor. So this is kind of one of the spots we look for them, but it's not a salmon spotting stream. We get done with Bear Harbor, we're going to come out here and come out into the main body of Affleck Canal and head north here. Affleck Canal runs up north and south, and then there's just a little area here between Affleck Canal and Tebenkoff Bay, real low spot. It almost connects. So we'll run right through this little pass here into Tebenkoff Bay, and we're going to head up to Alex Creek, which is the early indicator stream in Tebenkoff Bay. And it's been real slow this year, hasn't really got any fish yet, and we keep looking to see if there's any fish coming in there. We don't really have enough in that area to justify a fishery up around in that area, but we just keep looking and looking and looking to see if any fish do come in there. Tebenkoff Bay has dozens of salmon spawning streams, and we come to peak season when we start flying the streams looking for spawning fish to see what the peak return is, and that's how they get those numbers. That's how they figure out how many fish are coming back the following year, which is 2 years on the pink salmon. So this is a place we want to go when we want to make the observers sick, because it's just bang, 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 one stream right after another. We're not doing any of those today. We're just going to run up here to Alex Creek and check it and see if there's any fish in Alex Creek. Taking a look at Alex Creek, it's coming up right below us now. It's the intertidal area. The tide's in, and you can kind of see how the tide affects up into the stream to about where the grass ends there, and then the trees start. The main stream starts. This QU Island, the body of water over on the other side of QU Island is No Name Bay. We're going to fly up Alex Creek here, and it turned out to be pretty disappointing. There wasn't much fish in here. Now eventually the fish did come in at the end of the season, and it did give hope for the 2 years down the road of having a good return of fish, but this year was pretty disappointing. There never was enough to justify a commercial opening out here, and we didn't have any in this area, so the fish will come back. It's Alex Lake there coming up ahead of us, and that is the sockeye system. We did fly up the stream, and we did say a good number of sockeyes up in the stream on the other side of the lake, so there's hope for sockeye coming back, but that's not a major fish in this area. When we get up here past the lake, I'm going to speed things up again, and we're going to head back towards Petersburg. Alex Creek drains out into Tebenkoff Bay on the west side of QU Island, and this is Seclusion Harbor, which drains out into the east side. This opens up into 3 Mile Arm, and then the body of water on the other side of this little peninsula ahead of us is Rocky Pass. Well, this is all still QU Island here, but just the other side of Rocky Pass is Kupernoff Island. We're going to fly up Tunaheen Creek. We're not surveying it, we're just flying up it because that's the route to head back to Petersburg, and we're heading across Kupernoff Island. The body of water ahead of us is Duncan Canal. Duncan Canal almost divides Kupernoff Island, but the mountains there on the other side of Duncan Pass are still Kupernoff Island. This point coming up ahead of us that we're going to fly over is Indian Point. When I first came up here 35 years ago, there was a Loran site on this point, but that's been taken down and completely disappeared. The little mountain there, the bigger mountain there on the right side of us, just to the immediate right, there was a radio relay site on that, a White Alice site on that, and that's all been cleaned up too. So we're going to go through a little pass here called Duncan Pass. You can see out into Frederick Sound. The mountains with the snow on them are the Alaska mainland. And then coming up out of the pass, there will be Petersburg right ahead of us. Petersburg there will be on the right of center, and that's Mitkoff Island, and then it's still Kupernoff Island there on the left of us.